Welcome to our Commonwealth Club of Rome webinars as part of this year's Diplomacy Festival. The Commonwealth Club has been collaborating with the festival for a few years now. The Commonwealth represents 54 countries and accordingly is well placed to contribute to the international dialogue that is stimulated through the festival. The Commonwealth Club was founded in Rome in 1947 and seeks to contribute to the Commonwealth dialogue in Italy. The Commonwealth and sustainability go hand in hand. The Commonwealth Charter includes sustainable development and protecting the environment amongst its core values. CHOGM 2021 Rwanda includes environment amongst its 5 sub-themes. The UK is hosting COP26 in 2021, and this is being done in partnership with Italy. The Commonwealth Club of Rome is working on some initiatives to encourage collaboration between Commonwealth countries and Italy in this space. GreenTech is an energy and sustainable development cluster in the Emilia-Romagna region. Today we speak with David Stainer. He's on our board of the Commonwealth Club and leading our sustainability initiative, and Giordano Gozzi, Vice President of Clust-ER GreenTech. Welcome, David and Giordano.
Thank you for the introduction, Edward. I'm delighted to be here today with you. Basically, as a member of the club, I've had a fortune to meet and work closely with companies in the green energy sector, and particularly companies working to develop hydrogen-based solutions. And one of my clients is part of the local cluster in Emilia-Romagna. And today, I'm very pleased that Giordano will be here to explain a little bit about the local cluster. But first, let's watch a little video that introduces the GreenTech cluster Emilia-Romagna to everyone.
The clusters of the Emilia-Romagna region are communities of public and private entities, universities, research centers, companies, and educational bodies that share ideas, knowledge, tools, and resources to foster the competitiveness of the most relevant production chains within the region. The Cluster GreenTech is part of the regional network within the specific sectors of energy and sustainable development. GreenTech fosters the synergy and co-design among its participating members in sectors spanning from the promotion of an efficient and low-carbon economy to innovative manufacturing. From new technologies for energy production, storage, and distribution, to monitoring and improvement of air quality, from an efficient use of water resources and their treatment to byproduct exploitation, to the promotion of circular economy. Joining the Cluster GreenTech means getting involved in an open and collaborative environment where new ideas and knowledge can be developed for wealth creation and for improving societal well-being. One has the opportunity, within the cluster, to contribute to the design of new strategies, policies, and projects. It is also an opportunity to freely access information on up-to-date scientific, technological, and commercial information within the field of energy and sustainable development. Becoming a member of GreenTech also means being a part of an ambitious project for fostering innovation opportunities. The Cluster GreenTech originates from the Emilia-Romagna region, where innovative technologies are developed practically every day, but its horizon is aimed at Europe, at the whole world, at the future, by means of a strategic alliance between public administration, research, and enterprises that together are committed to a technological innovation that would promote the development of the whole community. GreenTech, together with its members, is also involved in the promotion of Agenda 2030, considering that innovation is the primary tool for meeting the UN Societal Development Goals.
That was a very interesting video. Now, to explain a bit more about the cluster and its goals and its role in the local economy. I'm very pleased that we have Giordano Gozzi. Welcome, Giordano.
Thank you, David. Thank you for having me with you today, and let me join you in this talk about the clusters.
Can I ask you a few questions? First of all, can you explain a little about the clusters in Emilia-Romagna and what are their purpose, please?
Sure. So actually clusters are a place where enterprises, universities, research centers and training institutions can meet and discuss about innovation in different topics. In Emilia-Romagna we've got 7 clusters altogether, and they are, let's say, main 5 clusters are based on the 5 pillars of the economy in Emilia-Romagna. We are talking about cluster agri-food, so it's agriculture and food, building is build, mech is mechatronics and motoristics, health for the health and wellness, and create for culture and creativity. On these 5 sectors, based also on the S3 smart specialization strategy of Emilia-Romagna and Europe, represent more than 65% of regional employment in Emilia-Romagna. There are 2 more clusters that are not based on a single sector, but are the Innovate cluster for the service innovation, and our cluster, GreenTech. I'm part of this cluster for energy and sustainable development. And in these clusters, actually, they are based on the high technology network of Emilia-Romagna, coordinated by Arte, that is another regional institution for the research and attractiveness of our region. So I was involved I started my involvement in the cluster because we have been working together with some research centers in the region. I'm also a managing director of my company, Hydromechanica. We manufacture compressors for natural gas, biomethane and hydrogen. So I had the opportunity of working in some research projects in Emilia-Romagna, and I got to know the people inside of these research centers. And when a couple of years ago, Emilia-Romagna started with these clusters, I was invited to join. And in the end, I ended up also being vice president, so I'm involved also on the strategic development of the cluster itself.
Oh, well, congratulations. How many organizations are part of your cluster, and how do they work together to meet common goals for the community and for the general, let's say, ecosystem?
In Emilia-Romagna, there are something like 80 research laboratories and more than 10 innovation centers and technopoles. And in our clusters, we have all of them. And we have a total of 80 members, more than half of which are private companies. So there is a possibility of not only having a collaboration between research centers and enterprises on a one-on-one basis, but having this large numbers of entities working together can find, we hope that it will help in increase the competitiveness of our regional environment and in our companies as well.
Okay. Obviously, your focus as a GreenTech is on, I would say, environmental sustainability. How does that link in with smart mobility, given that Emilia-Romagna is so famous for being the Motor Valley in Italy?
So yes, indeed, we are looking at the future. Of course, it's not only internal combustion engines in our region, but we want to, and you will hear about more about new ways of driving around instead of using fossil fuels. But we, as a cluster, we have a value chain that is called the low carbon economy in Romagna. And the focus of this value chain is on biomethane and biofuels, and also low carbon solutions for the industry and for the automotive industries and energy efficiency. So actually, we are very focused on decarbonizing industry and transports in our region. This is why smart mobility and reduced pollution from the transport is one of our focus. Emilia-Romagna has a problem also of local pollution due to lack of wind and a lot of transport, also linked with our region that is one of the most industrial in Italy. So in our cluster, in the value chain low carbon economy, we have a few working groups that are focusing on hydrogen as an energy carrier and also on power to gas projects. So using excessive non-programmable renewable to produce hydrogen or synthetic methane, and storing the energy as gas.
Okay. Internationally, what is the strategy for internationalization of a cluster like yourselves?
So there are other clusters in Europe. There is a common platform that is called the European Cluster Collaboration Platform, where we can find similar energy clusters around Europe. Consider that not even in Italy, not all regions or not all regions in Europe have an energy cluster, because as I said, it's difficult to label something like energy and sustainable mobility, but we can find similar institutions in Europe and on this platform. And also every year in Bologna, we have an event. It's called R2B, Research to Business. This year, unfortunately, we had to have it only digital. And there was no possibility to attend in presence, but there's another moment. It's called C2C, and it's the cluster-to-cluster meeting where we can discuss with other clusters about energy and sustainable development. Another possibility is on a COSME project that just started a couple of months ago, where the clusters can meet and talk on this platform, COSME.
Okay. I see you have a specific working group in hydrogen. The Commonwealth countries like Australia and Canada are particularly strong in technological innovation in the hydrogen field. How do you see that developing?
Hydrogen is going to be a very important player in the future of decarbonization of transport and of industry. Of course, there are countries like as you mentioned, Australia and Canada, that are advanced on the use of hydrogen, both because of technologies they have developed, but also on the possibility of producing hydrogen also for other countries. So Europe started, well, actually in November last year, we had a new commission that launched the European Green Deal, and also the new industrial strategy for Europe that focus on hydrogen as well for decarbonizing industry and transport. In March this year, Europe launched the Clean Hydrogen Alliance that is going to push the production of hydrogen from renewable energies with goals already in 2024, and the final goal is on 2030. Because the European Green Deal is looking to have a climate neutral Europe in 2050. So have a carbon balance in 30 years from now. That is a very demanding goal. So yes, I believe that internationally, it's very important that we have the possibility of learning and exchanging expertise with other countries around the world.
Giordano, in that answer, you discussed Australia and Canada. At the Commonwealth, we have 54 countries, and we think that having put together this working group for initiatives of collaboration between Italy and the Commonwealth, that we hope we can find opportunities in different areas to collaborate with Italy in general, but with your cluster and with the areas of specialisation throughout the Commonwealth. And maybe that can contribute as well in some areas as well as your European counterparts.
Yes, thanks a lot. Yes, not only the UK, of course, but as we mentioned, Australia and Canada and all other countries, I think they can contribute in sharing their knowledge and their experience they already have. And I think the more people we involve and the more countries we involve, the easier it will be to push this race for the environment that we have to all take part in.
Thank you very much, David, for introducing us to Giordano and the GreenTech cluster. We look forward to possibilities of being involved again in the short term, in the lead up to with next year being COP26 and the Italy partnership. We look forward to opportunities to touch base again and further these discussions from today. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I take the opportunity of introducing you to one of the companies member of Clust-ER GreenTech. It's Arco FC, specializing in fuel cells in our region. So this is a video on Arco FC.
This is the world as we know it today. A disaster, you say? Well, we can't blame you. We are sacrificing the ecosystem in the name of our comfort, our contentment. And what is the one object among the many we have we would never want to part with? Our smartphone, our laptop, or our car? The car. It made us dream. It made us fall in love. It takes us on vacation, to the sea, to the mountains, and to work. In short, the car means freedom. However, what impact does it have on our ecosystem? Today, only in the European Union, cars are responsible for 30% of CO2 emissions, a frightening figure, which should prompt us to reconsider mobility. But is there a different car? Exactly. Electric cars, at this moment, represent the best solution that can be adopted to relaunch the mobility and sustainability of our planet. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as it seems. In fact, the complete transition towards zero-impact mobility with current technologies would cost a surplus of energy unthinkable to produce.
Noi di Arco siamo andati oltre. Da 20 anni sviluppiamo pacchi batteria agli ioni di litio e celle a combustibile elettrolita polimerico, dette fuel cell. I nostri ingegneri hanno brevettato un nuovo dispositivo, si chiama Direct Link, che non è altro che la fusione insieme delle celle a combustibile elettrolita solido e delle celle di batteria agli ioni di litio. Il risultato di Direct Link è un dispositivo in grado di conferire al veicolo fino a 1000 km di autonomia con un tempo di ricarica di 3 minuti contro le 4 ore necessarie oggi, e tutto a impatto zero. Noi crediamo che Direct Link sia la risposta definitiva verso una mobilità sostenibile a impatto zero, ma non solo nel settore automotive. Un altro grande vantaggio di Direct Link è la versatilità. Per esempio, nel settore aerospaziale, nel settore navale, Direct Link conferisce al veicolo fino a 9 volte di più di autonomia a parità di peso. Se facciamo l'esempio dei droni, con Direct Link un drone sarebbe in grado di volare per 4 ore e mezzo al posto degli attuali 30 minuti. Oppure se facciamo un esempio su un'imbarcazione con Direct Link potrebbe navigare fino a 7 giorni, oppure anche oltre, in totale assenza di rumore e emissioni inquinanti. Grazie alle collaborazioni con importanti partner, tra cui Toyota Material Handling, Prinot per le macchine operatrici, Novotec nel settore aerospaziale e Manz Italia per quanto riguarda lo sviluppo industriale, siamo riusciti a testare questa tecnologia con ottimi risultati. Anche importanti multinazionali come Iveco, Hyundai, Toyota, BMW e Mercedes condividono la nostra visione, investendo sull'idrogeno quale vettore energetico imprescindibile per garantire la salvaguardia della vita e delle generazioni future.
We are now with Angelo Moreno, member of Arco FC's Scientific Advisory Board.
Good morning.
Welcome, Angelo.
Thank you very much. Welcome to you too.
We've learned quite a lot about the Emilia-Romagna GreenTech cluster, but we wanted to understand how you see fuel cells in the future of hydrogen economy.
Yes. First of all, everybody knows that hydrogen economies now is one of the priorities of the European Union. And of course, fuel cell, which is the best use, the best technology to use hydrogen, is also in the top technologies, what we call the enabling technologies. And fuel cell would be really the best solution to use in a very efficient and very clean way, the clean hydrogen, the so-called green hydrogen. Then the future is very bright for fuel cells. Fuel cells can be part of the game everywhere. Everywhere then, where today we have an internal combustion engine, in principle, we can think that this combustion engine can be replaced by fuel cell, fueled by hydrogen. It's the best way to decarbonize our economy, our way to produce and to use energy, and of course, to use and to produce hydrogen. Everywhere, fuel cell can be put in operation, in small apparatus, portable apparatus, in the cars, in the houses, and in all sector where, I repeat, where there is an internal combustion engine. Then really the future of fuel cell is starting now in a very, very bright way, in a very optimistic way.
Okay, thank you. Gosh, I didn't realize that it was such a revolution. Yeah. Where do you see the applications of hydrogen fuel cells being applied first? In which markets?
That's a good question. Referring to fuel cells, I would say that the first big market is, of course, the automotive market. When I say automotive, I mean, better say, I would say in the transport sector. Because now really all the transport sector, starting from cars, of course, to buses, to trucks, to material handling systems, but even to naval application, small boats, yacht, but even big ships, in the aviation, and last but not least also in the train. Train could be even one of the perhaps together with the trucks could be one of the first application, because the train, so perhaps you know that in Europe we have more than 30% of the railway are not electric, are diesel driven. And now we have to replace this diesel train with something else. The best solution, whatever any doubt, is to use hydrogen and fuel cell to have electric trains driven by the fuel cells. Then the future, I would say that the first real market for fuel cell is transport application in general, whatever you think.
Okay. So basically, if I understand rightly, hydrogen trains will save the necessity to electrify rail lines, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So
because electrify the lines with the catenary is very expensive, while to retrofit the nowadays diesel trains with the fuel cells and hydrogen is the cheapest solution. Really the cheapest.
Okay.
No doubt about that.
Okay. Enlightening. Can I ask, I understand that the Italian government is going to publish soon a national strategy on hydrogen. I know that in Australia and Canada have done things similarly. How do you see that? And what competitive advantages may this bring?
Yeah. It's something that I'm dreaming since the beginning of 2000, when Europe established its own hydrogen vision. Now, after almost 20 years, even Italy is finally having its own hydrogen vision, and now we are going to have the national hydrogen plan. I would say also, to add to this what you say, that Italy is also preparing a big research and development program to sustain the development of hydrogen and fuel cell. Then, together with the national plan, which is embracing everything, industrial development, exploitation of the technology, even a research and development program in supporting the industry. Then, from this point of view, I see, and I hope that this program will be issued as soon as possible. I see that there will be big advantages, not only for Italy, because the idea of this program is to make sure that even Italy could participate to the let's say, to the competition, where other countries like Germany, France, and the North countries are more ahead of us. Now we have the possibility to reach them and perhaps to become competitive. And then this is the added value, referring to Italian country, but it's also an added value for Europe, because Italy is not such a small country. It's one of the, perhaps the second biggest economy in Europe. Then if even Italy join the game, then all Europe can gain in competitiveness compared to Japan or to USA or to Canada or to Australia. Then it's a really big added value.
Okay, good. And how do you see Arco's role in this?
I see, of course, I'm a part of the technical advisor committee, but apart from this, I think that Arco for Italy could really become a big player, because in Italy we lack of industries competitive in the field of producing stacks or producing systems, manufacturing systems. And Arco is, I think, in the front. It's the one that is more prepared to take advantage of the national implementation, national hydrogen plan, and of the research development program that Italy is going to issue. Arco has all the possibility to become really the biggest, I would say, player in Italy in the field of fuel cells and systems related to the fuel cells. I mean, it's
okay. And do you see, just to finish, as we're here with the Commonwealth Club, do you see much collaboration with the Commonwealth countries, the Anglo countries like Australia, like Canada, like the UK? Or how do you see the international scene?
I think that, as I repeat, Arco could become, oh, you're referring to Arco, I mean, no? How I see, yes. I think that Arco can really be, have a very, very competitive product. Then to open to collaboration, which these countries can open the market, then the market will be not the Italian market, not the European market, but the worldwide market. And I think that the product, as I know the product of Arco, is a very good product that could take part of the market, could be a player not only in Italy or Europe, but in the world in general. It's of course the competition is very, very hard. I mean, the competitors, the name are Ballard or Plug Power or whatever. They are big players which are on the market since many years, and now Arco has to reach his own part of the market. But I think that they are in good position to become a player also in the market worldwide.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for your overview of the hydrogen fuel cell application and how Arco is positioning itself to be part of that revolution. I hand back to Edward.
Thanks, David, and thanks, Angelo, for describing that all to us. We hope that in your path to achieve those particular goals, if there are some opportunities for collaboration with Commonwealth countries, you know, we can work with you and help introduce those, because, you know, as you aspire to these goals, so are teams in our countries, our Commonwealth countries, doing the same. And sometimes in these new technologies, working together, you know, will get you that one step further than the rest of the countries. You mentioned Japan,
Korea.
Maybe could help us be one step ahead if we work together. So thank you very much for your contribution tonight, and we look forward to opportunities to hear from you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.